Alright, welcome back to the channel, guys. Dmitry Donskoy coming in as probably tied for the best Tier 8 cruiser. I know I made a video about the Buffalo probably like a week and a half ago, and I was saying it was the best, but I really hadn't played Donskoy that much, and I actually didn't even have it maxed out. This is a weird game. We are pretty much still figuring out like how to play this ship and how aggressive you can get. So we're a little bit passive, but it is a what is this, a 7v7? This is the beautiful matchmaking that we get at Tier 8. For some reason, I'm not sure why, with the addition of Tier 8, I've gotten a lot of matches like this, and I'm not sure if it's just the matchmaker trying to fit in, like Tier 7, Tier 8, and Legendary Tier all together, but I always get a ton of these matches at Tier 8 that just do not fill up, and I don't know why. And it's not a crossplay issue. I believe this is also one that has both the Xbox and PS in the game, so I don't really know. This gameplay is actually like a week and a half old, and we're going to be testing out the AP a good bit, and you're going to see some crazy abilities that this AP can pull off. Obviously, if you're looking at getting this ship, this is Big Chapayev. This is basically Talon at Tier 8, and there are a couple differences. Mainly, this obviously gets the 11.7 kilometer radar and more health, and it's got some pretty cheeky armor. It sits very low in the water, and it can be very, very hard to actually kill one of these things. The heal. Let's get to the heal, because the heal is nuts. The heal after you get the hull upgrade is 303 per second, which, if you don't know, Azuma has a mega buffed heal, and it does 315, 318 maybe. So for a technical light cruiser, I mean, this ship has 180mm guns, but I'm just gonna still call it a light cruiser. It has the best heal, like, for a cruiser, like, in the game, excluding like flipping Alaska and all that stuff. I mean, those aren't technically cruisers. They're for all intents and purposes in Legends with the 32mm bow. Alaska's a battleship. I'm gonna get some hate in the comments, but this ship is good. It is really, really good. I think that I like the Buffalo more. I like the more meaty salvos that you can get with the Buffalo. Obviously, having 12 USN Super Heavy AP is a lot of fun, and I think the biggest thing with this ship is with the 180mm guns, your HE does pin 30, but it doesn't pin 32. So you will, if you're forced to HE spam down some battleships, kind of like this game, you're going to struggle to do a decent bit of damage if you can't get fires. So it's weird. It also doesn't get the improved AP like Talon, but that doesn't really matter. We have a Soyuz here at 17 kilometers. This is actually, you can tell this is before I have the range upgrade, but everything else on this ship is maxed. So shooting AP at a broadside Soyuz at 17 kilometers. Let's see how it goes. We're aiming a little bit high. Pretty decent hit. Pretty decent hit on a battleship, but we're not done just yet. This is at the edge of our range. Not the best. Probably bounced a little bit. Some weird. Gonna wait for the full salvo here. Aiming a little bit lower. He's swinging aside to us. And with that full salvo out on a broadside Soyuz, we actually Citadel a battleship at near max range. Well, 18 kilometers. Max range for this thing with refill station is about 21 kilometers, and you might say, oh, I've done that before, but these are 180mm guns. They don't have improved like AP. There's no improved like pin angles or anything, and we're not done citadeling battleships in this game. That's an Odin. That is an Odin, and I realize the deck is pretty weak for those turtleback armor schemes, but I don't think I've ever citadeled an Odin at this range with a cruiser, let alone these Russian 180s. And we're aiming high, obviously, but again, we get another 2, so I was just like, okay. Okay, the AP is pretty good. The only thing I will say about the AP is if the target is not completely flat broadside, you're going to get some pretty mixed results. It's very good for those broadsides, and it's very accurate. The shell velocity is very high. But as soon as someone angles, you're going to see some really not the best results, and it can kind of suck at sometimes. And that's kind of where I just go to. I prefer the Buffalo just because Buffalo's HE pins 32, and the AP obviously is USM AP, and it's just insane. Donskoy, however, carries its weight very well. Insane heal, like I said. I mean, you can heal a lot. I believe it's like 8.5k per heal, and obviously I'm running refill station, but it can be really difficult to actually take one of these things down. It also comes, obviously, it has to come with 8-kilometer torpedoes because, you know, most Russian ships, most Russian cruisers have to come with 10 8-kilometer torpedoes because why not? So, this is where I was like, okay, let's see if we can push the envelope. We're way too far out, playing way too passive here. But we were kind of just, you know, messing around with the guns, seeing what they could do. So, you know, it's whatever. This is kind of like a showcase of what these guns are capable of. I will say, um, it really sucks that the Donskoy and the Buffalo are so good because the Rune and the Ibuki are quite tragic. Rune, not so much. Rune can have some pretty good games. It can be pretty fun. But the Ibuki is just... It pains me to say that Ibuki is 100% the worst, probably the worst tier 8, actually, from this release. And it really sucks because I like the Mogami, I like the Suzuya, I like the IJN like cruiser line. So it really hurts that I don't want to play it because it's just not very good. Again, we're trying to take pot shots with the AP here. There's nothing more satisfying than getting a Citadel on a battleship in a cruiser, or like my Elbing video, getting Citadels with a destroyer on a cruiser. This feels awesome. But again, Buffalo is just slightly angled, and you start to see where the AP just kind of like really falls off unless you're hitting those flat broadsides. Again, 5 bounces. He angled very well though, so not much we can complain about there. But we're gonna push in here because why not? I mean, this game is pretty much over. I can battle tank most of these people except for the Fred the Grove, but I'm also just gonna take my chances here. Citadel, the Chapayev, who was basically already dead. And yeah, I gotta say, if you're looking for a cruiser and you can't decide between the Buffalo and the Donskoy, I think they're very similar in how much they can carry. I think Donskoy overall, Donskoy might be better. It's just match to match, but I like the heavier hitting guns from the Buffalo. So if I had to choose one, I'd probably go with Buffalo. I think it's a lot more fun. That chunky salvo that Buffalo can get out there is pretty insane. The reload on Donskoy isn't bad. It's also not It's not fantastic. It's not my favorite. With refill station, I think I'm looking at like... Let's actually wait for a second. I forgot off the top of my head. 8 seconds, which isn't terrible. I believe this is also with Membele. Like, this is full reload build. This is maxed out refill station with Kuznetsov. So it could be better, but it also could be a lot worse. I think Ibuki's traveling at like Ibuki's like 11.5, so Ibuki's kind of trash compared to everything else. Rune can get down into the sevens, and it's trash. Okay, we're gonna stop trashing on the Ibuki. That's not what the video's about. So, but this game is pretty much over. I do like the Donskoy though. I've played it quite a bit since this video, and we've gotten some witherers in this ship in like 3 minutes because the range is just so far. Again, we're decently broadside to the Freddy, but we sit so low in the water. He's actually struggling to actually do too much for us, and we're kind of just, you know, we're throwing here. I mean, there's no point not to. See, this is the point in the game where you kind of just want to throw it. Just throw your ship in there and like see what you can do. Practice angling, you know, whatever. Try to aim for certain like sections of the ship to get fires. Like for that Freddy there, I aimed specifically for the bow so I can get that bow fire spot. So even if I do die, I'm gonna have some fires ticking. And again, I'm gonna aim midship or not. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the tier 8, how it's going. Um, it's expensive. It's really expensive. Let me know what you want to see next. I'm debating on Rune. Rune is a lot more fun to play than Ibuki, but I can make an Ibuki video, guys, if you want me to. It's just, eh, it's not fun. It is not that fun. Get a double fire on the Odin. Unfortunately, he will use damage con, and the battleship will clean it up. So no Kraken for us today. But that is it. Standard Kuznetsov build that I always run. So yeah, that is the Donskoy. Tied for best tier A cruiser in my opinion. Just depends on the match. And I will see you guys next time. Take it easy. Peace.